On episode 3 of Finding Success as a Creator, we interviewed Gummies, who was a former Twitch streamer turned Kick creator.
We talked about a lot of things when it comes to streaming and content creation as a whole, especially about brands and what to look out for when you're offered a sponsorship or a partnership. And guys, if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe. It helps us out a lot. We are here with the one and only. He is known as the King Gummies, but also straight up just Gummies now. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us everything about your stream career, you know, what you stream, where you stream, your content, what you do.
Yeah.
Cake you like. You know.
We're going to be talking for a long time. I am Gummies. I'm a variety streamer. I play a lot of different games. I'm kind of all over the place right now, at least. I'm just really all about laughing and joking and chilling and laughing at me, and that's really it. I mean, I'm just here. I don't even know how to explain it really. Like I'm doing everything I can to put smiles on other people's faces. So, you know, every time I find an opportunity to do that, I do it. And I felt like the way I could do it is streaming. So here I am.
I just work here.
Yeah, I just work here, for real.
It's
not even my stream. It's just my mod stream. It's just my face. But I tell them all the time.
I love that. So what made you want to start streaming or / content creation then?
Yeah. When I first started streaming, well, first I was very similar to a lot of people where I really thought you had to be cracked at video games to stream. I thought the only people that streamed were like people that were just straight up 360 no scoping, like all that stuff. And then I met a streamer, or one of my buddies introduced me to a streamer. Her name is Nico. And she's been streaming for like years and years and years. And it wasn't about the game that she was playing. It was about her as a person. And she was just like super interactive with her chat. She was super like she would play all these different games and it didn't really matter because everybody was just, you know, chilling and having a good time. And I was like, yo, wait, what's going on here? Like, this isn't the stream I thought. Like, this isn't what I thought Twitch streaming was. And my buddy was like, no, you should really try it. I really think that you you know, would have a really fun time doing it. And I'm like, you know what? Like, literally, like the following week, like I'd used my laptop off of an Xbox, got a capture card, most ghetto looking stream that you will probably ever see in your life. And just started going at it, you know? Started playing NBA 2K. So
oh my God,
it was
really, that's what you started with?
Started playing NBA 2K and Overwatch were my two first games that I streamed, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your main in Overwatch?
I'm a huge diva main.
Props right here.
Yeah, huge diva main, dude. That's me. Oh wait, I can give you a high. I don't know which side it's on. I'm just gonna give you both.
Yeah,
I just smacked you in the head. I smacked you in the head, Trey. I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
I did not mean
okay.
it.
It's okay.
But yeah, Overwatch, Diva was my main. Diva and Zenyatta. Every time Diva got picked, so. Because nobody ever picks Zenyatta. Poor Zenyatta.
No, I know. I feel that.
So, in your streaming career, where have you found the absolute most success when it comes to your content creation journey? Have you, has it been on one platform, multiple platforms, certain social media platforms? Where have you found the most success?
That is such a good question, to the point where I don't know necessarily if I have a clear answer. I've been streaming and content creating for about 6 years now. So I have seen probably, I don't even know where to necessarily say the peak was, you know, because I had a couple videos on TikTok. My most viewed TikTok ever that I've ever posted in my life was 2.1 million. But I've gotten multiple like million views on Instagram, but have had like super huge streams when I was on Twitch and huge streams when I was on now on Kick. I don't even know, dude. Like it's crazy. I don't that you asked me that question because I can't even like think about like a particular time where I'm like, okay, like that was it. Like that was like my like that moment, and I want to push to get back to that moment. Because I've been doing it for a long time. I've had them for a while, but I would say if I had to pick one platform, it's still kind of between, I would say, either TikTok or uh, Instagram. My TikTok before did start, it started snowballing, like out of control kind of snowballing. Like I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Like I set my phone down, I pick it back up, and I have 99 notifications. Like, what's going on? And I'm like posting content. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm posting. It's getting likes, it's getting views. And I'm like, oh my God, this is insane.
Yeah.
Um, so I would probably say TikTok still as of right now, but I see that trend moving, for me personally, to Instagram and Kick.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Instagram seems to be definitely something you don't sleep on, for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
even for us, like we recently started using it like way more. Even since Badass actually had her interview, we started using it right after that. And a couple weeks ago, we had like multiple videos all hit like one of them's about to hit 60,000 right now. We've never seen anything like that. I
Ooh.
was like, okay, okay,
Yeah, Instagram is and again, Bad Rat Mommy kind of put me onto that as well because I kind of neglected that social media platform for a while.
Yeah.
But then once you find out, she was the person that told me that Instagram is about consistency. You start posting at first and you might not see a bunch, but what Instagram really loves is consistency. They see you post like that fifth, sixth, seventh video and you've got a schedule. They're like, oh, okay, this is a creator that wants to, grow on the platform. So now we're gonna, push these videos. And it's honestly, when you start posting your story, you start posting everywhere. It slept on. I've been telling so many creators like Instagram, use Instagram. They're like, oh, I don't know what to post on
Yeah.
Instagram.
yeah, it
Just
really
post your
is showing
TikToks.
crazy results.
Like, just do something. Like, even post your other thing. Like, even use your TikToks. What I did for the longest time, because I didn't know what to post on Instagram, and it was in between me like moving stuff. I didn't know what kind of content I wanted to post, so I started taking my TikToks that did well, even if they were a year ago, and posted them on Reels. And I did a whole bunch, put them in my drafts, took the watermarks off, and then posted one every day. First two got like 400 views. Uh, third one got like 13,000, and I'm still at like 1,500 followers at this point. I'm like, what the heck's going on? 13,000 people. Like, where is this? Video after that, such a quick little video, like 5 seconds long, 167,000 views. And I was like, what is happening?
Wow.
People are like
That's
flooding to the
crazy.
account. Different content creators are flooding to the account. Gamers like are finding me, and I'm like, oh my God, okay. So Instagram is it. It's real. So no, I would highly suggest, obviously using all the other platforms, of course, but Instagram is definitely one that I think a lot of people sleep on.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%. I
and we're
agree.
definitely learning that now too, for sure.
Yes. Don't sleep on Instagram. So with that being said, because you explained a little bit of a tactic that you used that worked for you, was there any other tactics that you tried out and did work? And were there ones that you thought would work but didn't?
Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of different tactics that I've tried that I thought would work, that actually failed, beautifully. I'll say fail beautifully because I feel like you can't necessarily fail, in this industry. You just keep trying until you find what works for you. But, I found myself a lot on TikTok, and Instagram, um, really looking and seeing what everybody else was doing and trying to do it. That was one big thing that I tried to do for a while. I was like, oh, this person is popping off right now doing Fortnite stuff. And Fortnite's the big rave, all this and all this, like it's trending. So I'm like, okay, great. Let me start posting Fortnite. I'm trash at Fortnite. I don't know what I'm doing on the game. I shouldn't have it. And it's just one of those things. It's like you can't
We're not gonna say
necessarily
nothing about Fortnite.
force
Oh my
yourself. Like
god.
I took a long time, and I was on Fortnite for a while when I first started growing on Twitch. I was like a Fortnite streamer like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I stopped streaming it for a long time, and then it was all the rave when they did the updates. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's try this again. No. And it's one of those things that I think that was probably the biggest thing, like the biggest takeaway, is it's like yes, there are gonna be people that succeed in a whole bunch of different categories, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the category that I'm gonna succeed in.
Right.
And the more I stopped chasing that, the more I started finding my own category, which I'm still fully trying to figure out. But it's
100%.
not Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's not Fortnite.
Not
It's not.
Fortnite.
At least as of right now, you never know,
Yeah.
change. But right now, it's not.
Sure. No, for sure. Now, during all your low points, like your absolute lowest points when throughout your content creation, what helped motivate you get out of those moments, and what did you do that changed those negative moments and back into a positive where you started growing and seeing growth again? And did you ever feel at any moment that you wanted to give up? And what did you do to counteract that?
Yeah. So, what I do to motivate me in those small moments, honestly, and it's something I didn't start doing till a couple years ago. I was one of those people that I really did not talk to my community when I was at a low point. I kept it to myself, and I still tried to, even when I in my lowest points, I still pushed out content, and I'm still dancing around on TikTok and smiling on my stream all the time, and hiding really when I was in my low points. Um, and obviously, all that did was just make the low point worse, and extended it a lot longer. What I started doing, because when I am in my low points, no matter what, if it's streaming related, if it's, like work related, if it's life related, um, usually my stream and my community is what has always lifted me back up. It always has. It like has never failed. It has been the number one cure all medicine for me the last 6 years are the people in my community. And when I started being a lot more open and letting my community be there, for me as they want to be there for me, as they tell me to let them be there for me, that is when I was able to start handling my low points so much better. But it also helped me not even get to as low of a point, because I remember they're there,
Right.
and I go to them and I will talk to. I've had countless conversations with my mods in like particular, or just my community in general, or just like in my Discord, and have told my Discord literally the other day, like, dude, it's a long day today. I don't know if I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna be honest. Like my head is not where it should be right now, and I don't want to stream with this negative energy around me right now. And first thing they all do is just sending me so much positive energy, sending me so much love, to the point where next day, I'm refreshed. So I think really relying and, kind of letting my community be there for me was the biggest thing that I could have done for myself, and I really wish I would have started doing it a lot sooner.
So I just have a secondary question to that
Yeah.
then. What about like, as you know, sometimes people have actually said like, showing your emotions can be a bad thing. And people have also, some people have, when they do show their emotions, things go even more wrong sometimes and stuff like that. How do what's a way to avoid that from happening, or to like obviously not let out too much where it could be used against you, but like let out just enough that you can like you said, rely on your community and they'll be there and stuff like that, because a lot of people are scared to show their emotions
Mhm.
because of how many times you've seen people get taken advantage of in those situations, or you know no one is there to help them or something like that.
Yeah. No, I that makes sense. And for a lot of time, beginning of my streaming career, I thought that too, and that's a big reason on why I didn't like really show emotions. But, I started realizing, that, obviously it's a part of being human, and something that we do, every content creator does, is they sit down at their PC or whatever they're streaming on, and they sit there and they get a smile ready and they stream. And no matter what that person on the other side of the screen is going through, no matter what's going through any of your heads, no matter what's happening outside of this window that we see your webcam in, no one knows what's going on. But I think a lot of times, uh, people and streamers will feel like they need to dissociate the two things completely. Like there won't be a middle ground. Me personally, I think it's very important for anyone that watches me, anyone that may or may not look up to me or whatever, to know that I'm a human too. I do have feelings, and it is okay to have them. I do have bad days, and it's okay to have them. And I think a lot of times, a lot of streamers will be like, oh, well, I need to keep that away. Like, no matter what happened at work, I need to get home in front of my computer. And even though I had the worst day and I got cussed out by so many customers, and I am so upset right now, as soon as I sit at my computer, I need to put this fake smile on my face and entertain. And that's not the case. It for a lot of people, but for me personally, I don't think that's the case. I think it's okay for your community and for people out there in general to not like they need to know you're a person. And I think that's
Yeah.
what we're seeing a lot in these streamers, upcoming streamers. We're seeing people, for example, one of my favorite streamers that I love to see is Kai Cenat. The reason
Mm.
why is because he is so genuinely just himself.
Yeah.
You've seen the man cry on stream. You've seen him laugh. You've seen him go through all these different things on stream. And I feel like that's really important. It's really important to see the real side of people because you know that they're a real person instead of just someone that is appeasing to you or to anyone on the internet by just, smiling all the time on stream, which everybody knows, of course, that's not how life is. That's not how life works. I
Oh,
wish
100%.
it would be
Yeah.
nice, but it's not.
If only.
Not wrong.
No, I think that was really well said. Thank you, Gummies, for that because I think a lot of people do need to hear that more often is that it's okay to not be okay,
Yeah.
and show that. So thank you, sir.
No problem. Listen, if I cry on stream and I become a meme, I become a meme.
Hey, that's
True.
exposure right there, baby.
Yeah,
That's
exposure right there.
Tag me. Tag me.
Tag me. So when you are on stream and you're having a vibe with your chat, how do you go about handling negativity or off-putting behavior in that chat if someone comes in? So, self-promoing or
Yeah.
trauma dumping, coming in, just saying, "Oh, you look tired." Like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
That one's tough, dude. The whole "you look tired's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes.
And that one will sneak up. It like you'll never understand it. Like you'll never see that one coming. But when someone says it, you're like, oh shoot, that thing is kind of messed up. I'll say, honestly, it takes time. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to anyone and say it doesn't take hard skin to do this because anyone can jump on a profile and say whatever they want. But there's a couple things you got to realize that these people don't know you. Whatever they're saying on the other side of the screen, like they don't know you, especially trolls, new people coming in the chat saying negative stuff. They don't know who you are. So how are they able to base an opinion off of 3 seconds of interaction? So that's something I've always thought about. It's like this person doesn't know me. They don't know. They're just mad. I don't know at what. At me, no. But they're just mad at life. So when it comes to kind of negative things like trolls and stuff, that's always how I've handled it. I've never really kind of thought too much about it. When it comes to like any sort of other negativity, self-promotion is something I've been experimenting with. I've kind of having a little bit of fun with it. And it depends on and I don't suggest it for everybody, but it depends. Some people will come in and they'll just be like, yo, follow my stream. I'm here. And at first I used to ban them. But now I don't because I just kind of let my mods do whatever they want because I trust them as people.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I'll sometimes for lack of better terms, I'll just kind of let them play with them a little bit if they want to, but usually most of the time I will generally when someone comes in and they do something that I see as a let's say that's against streamer etiquette. If I see something against streamer etiquette, I will actually try, and you can ask any of my mods, I will actually try to help them correct it. I will genuinely try and be like, hey, first off, welcome to the stream. Hello. I know you have not taken any time to learn my name, but it's Gummies. welcome in. Thank you so much for chatting. However, the first thing you chatted was your stream, and you're trying to get stream viewers from my stream onto your stream. There's a lot of issues with this. One, not only do I not know you, they don't know you either. And the first interaction they have is similar to a Burger King employee going into McDonald's saying, "Hey guys, come across the street and eat a burger," while they're eating a burger. So if that is how you want your first interaction with all of these people to be, then go for it. However, it's not looking so hot for you right now. That's a lot of times when it comes to other streamers, they'll come through, but a lot of times I just, as Chipmunk said, I let them play with their food sometimes when they probably shouldn't, but it's okay. It's fine. The one thing that I've actually started noticing though, and I don't know if you guys noticed it on Kick, is I had a lot of music people come into my stream and say, "Hey, I just released new music. Will you listen to it?" Obviously, this is self promo,
I think we've had one,
but
One or two,
maybe
yeah.
one. Yeah.
I've actually almost started making it a form of content when it does happen. I'll say, "Okay, fantastic. You know what? Yes, we'll listen to it right now." But I'm gonna tell you this: my mods are not forgiving people. So if this is trash, you're not gonna hear the end of it, and we will listen to it. And we had one guy come in, and his music was actually fire, and a lot of us actually ended up adding it to our playlist. I was like, okay, this is nice. We had these group of kids come in, and they were rapping, and oh my word, that was like if Simon Cowell would have walked out of the building. It was so bad. And we were
Oh
all sitting there. We
no!
were all sitting there just like, I'm over, and it's funny because like I'm trying not to laugh. Like it
Yeah.
got to the point halfway through the song where I just started feeling bad. So I'm over here doing this, and my mom's like, "No, no, Gummies, don't cover your face, don't cover your face. Let them know." And I'm like,
Please tell me there's a clip of this
"Oh my
somewhere.
god,
I
nah,
would
I don't
love
even
to
remember
see.
it. It was a while ago. I don't think
I would
any of us,
love to see
I don't think any
that.
of us clipped it. But oh my god, it was so, and I just at that time I just kind of let them bury themselves. Um, So I've seen a lot of people do that sometimes when it comes to streams too. They'll be like, "Oh, you know what? Let's pull up your stream and really see," and then they'll pull it up.
Yeah.
But last thing I want to do is actually, I don't want to bring any negativity towards it. But I mean, if you want to play your mixtape in front of people and the people have a right to their opinion, and
Yep.
that's just that's the
I
game you
like that
play. That's
actually.
the
I
game you
like that
play.
actually.
So smart. I love
But yeah,
it.
you just after a while you just started getting creative with the small things. And when
For
that started
real.
happening, I don't know what possessed me that one day. But I literally, like, you could probably see, you can ask my mods, the change in my face was like, you know what? Let's listen to your music. And I know they were like, "Oh, hold on. Wait.
Hold up.
Wait, this is not what we do. Do not do this." I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? If I'm gonna listen to it, y'all gonna listen to it. And the mods were not having those kids rapping, bro. They were not having it at all.
That is
Oh,
absolutely
I love
amazing.
Oh my
that.
god,
I
yeah,
wish
it
more
was
of those came in now. Shit.
Die little in
it's good.
pride. Oh
Inside,
no.
inside. Every time
All
he says that,
right.
I die a little inside. I love it.
So, well, you kind of said this a little bit in everything you just said, but how important is your mod team when it comes to your streams
Oh my
performance?
god, dude.
And
That
how do you motivate them? And do you have any expectations for them at all? How do you really like make it so you and your team perform the best when it comes to your content creation, so that your growth and everything is there?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, and it's something I've always done. I've never modded someone who has asked for it. Every time I have always modded people, it has been people that are there willingly without swords. Like what they're just there. Like everyone that gets modded is someone that I have randomly said, you know what? For example, Chipmunk, you know what? Do you want to be mod? And she's like, what? And I'm like, "Do you want to be mod? You're here all the time." And it's like, she's like, I mean, yeah." I mean, like, I'm sure. And so that is literally the interaction I've had with all my mods except for one, Nemo, of course, because um, and I would have modded him anyway. I didn't know anything about Kick. And he knew a lot more about Kick at the time. He was always there as well as one of those things. But for the most part, and I've learned that when I grew my mod team like that, everything else just fell into place. Like it was, I didn't have to. I don't have to. Like we don't have to have any mod meetings or anything crazy. Like when I'm streaming and I'm hanging out, I have always modded people that I knew had very similar, um, very similar mindsets as me when it
Mhm.
came to whether they're a streamer or they're not a streamer. Um, so I've never really run into any issue. To be completely honest, the less I thought about it, I guess the better it became, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I feel like a lot of people stress out. They're like, oh my God, I need mods and I don't know who to mod and I don't know who this and who this. I just have always been, this person, every time I go live, this person clicks on my stream. Like they're either crazy or they like me. Probably both. So
Probably.
that's
Both is
enough
good.
for me.
Both
Both is good.
Both is
Both
good.
is very
enough for
good.
me. But yeah, honestly, that's how people end up getting mod for me. But I think that mods are so freaking important, and my mods have saved me so much. Not even just take the streaming out of it. They have saved me countless times in my life when it comes to being down and honestly, they are my family. They are they feel like my family, the same as my family feels like my family. So I think it's super important to have them. It's also super important for you to have a good relationship with them as a streamer. And yeah, F you too, Bright.
I was gonna say your mom's going cray cray in chat right now.
Yeah, and and unfortunately they make me pay them in throwing my butt on stream.
I think that's a good payment personally, but I mean, I'll let the mod speak.
Yeah, they unfortunately make me pay them in that.
So I have actually a question.
Yeah.
Right now, just give an estimate what your average CCV is right now, and how many mods do you actually have?
So, how many mods I have? That's a tough question.
You don't know, do you?
Anywhere between 10 and yeah. How many?
72.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
my God.
yeah, I have no idea. What was the first question?
What was the first question? Your CCV.
Yes, my current average. My current average on
love
Kick
it.
is 30. My current average on Kick is like 30
Oh my God.
30.7 or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I probably have like 15.
It's all okay. It's gone up from 10 to 15.
18.
Okay, we're
Okay,
good.
I probably have 18 mods total.
18. Holy.
Probably 47 if you include technically all the mods I have on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, his entire chat is mods.
I mean, I got a good amount of mods when you think about
All
it.
right, every new person that comes in on this day, you get to be a mod. You get to be a mod. You get to be a mod, and you get to be a mod.
You can never be too protected.
Gummies is the president. He has his secret service around him.
Yeah.
It was like me at the wedding with my best man. Sweet. Sounds good.
Yeah, honestly, sub for mod. Actually, just follow for mod. I actually just chat for mod. You'll get it.
That's an OG and not a mod.
Yeah.
I missed one.
I usually just mod the homies, and be honest. I mod the people that are in my chat a lot. And when I need new mods, I just, I usually just sauce one to someone that's in chat all the time.
Listen, you missed one though. You missed an OG.
Yeah. They're not impressed right now.
Lene, I'm sorry. If you want to mod, if you want to be mod, you can. See, this is how, and then boom, another mod.
Nah, modding is scary.
I have 19.
19? 19 now? Bet.
By the end of this stream, he'll be at 33.
Yep, that's true.
Oh my god, I love that so much. Jeez, the fact that this man didn't even know how many mods he had. I'm
Yeah,
impressed. I'm
uh,
impressed.
uh,
All right, listen, Mr. Oprah of the mods. What is one tip that you would give to new creators starting out now?
oh man, one tip. I would say to my one tip to creators would be to, man, there's a lot of different tips I would give to creators, but not necessarily the biggest one, but a big one would be to learn from the people around you, and learn from people inside the space. That's something that I did not really focus on as much as I should have when I first started. I just started. And for my first 2 years, when I'm telling you the quality of my stream was like 120p Minecraft, like it was bad. And that's not necessarily because I didn't have the ability to do it. It's just because I just wasn't like I was watching other streamers and I was, like chilling, but I was never a networking. I was never just making friends. I wasn't really doing anything. So I didn't know for the longest time that the issue with my stream was settings in my OBS. And the biggest reason why I didn't know that was because I never really talked to anybody, and I just streamed,
Mm-hmm.
and I just
Mhm.
that's it. But when I started actually making friends and learning from people and literally just observing other streamers and just seeing not seeing what they do and what works, and not necessarily obviously stealing or implementing, of course, but it's like when I saw someone as interactive as they were in their chat. For example, the first person I watched streaming was Nico, and that was one of the biggest things I saw was how interactive she was, and I was like, oh my god, like I am a very outgoing person, um, but a lot of times you don't realize when you're streaming. And when I first started streaming and I was playing 2K and I was talking to my friends and I would look at the chat and I would get so nervous being too um about being too outgoing, because I'm a pretty outgoing person. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very out there. Um and I'm worried about being too outgoing. So I would reach out like, oh hey, how you doing? And I would like contain myself. And I was like trying to keep myself in a little box. So I would say learn from other people. But the biggest thing is to be yourself on stream. Do not ever try to be anybody else. Unless for some reason that's your brand and it works, I guess. I don't know. But I would say 9 times out of 10, actually 9 times out of 9, be yourself. Be 100% genuine you, and the right people will come to you.
Well said, sir. Well said. I can't imagine a very quiet Gummies. I really can't.
Listen, he works a 9 to 5. They have no idea.
They have no idea.
They have
They don't
no
know.
idea how colorful my language gets when I get in the car. I'm just kidding. How outgoing I become when I leave that building. Positively, of course.
Of course. So, we already had one question. I'm sure a couple other people have a few questions. We're now going to open it up to you guys and ask any questions that you guys would like to ask to Mr. Gummies or to all of us or whatever. So the first question was actually from Bevai.
I can't see it no more. I have to scroll.
Yeah, I have to scroll as well. Oh, how did you handle getting so many people at once when you were blowing up on TikTok and Instagram?
Oh, see, that one was hard because I wasn't really used to it. So I just did everything. The responses took longer, but I still just tried to respond to everybody on TikTok and everything. And I know obviously you see a lot of larger creators, they won't respond to anyone at all, like on their TikToks, and Instagram. And obviously that's not me. So I was like, I still just did everything I could. I tried to respond, in stream when a whole bunch of people were coming in. Like I was like I literally had to stop playing my game for a second. I was like, oh my God, like this game is fun. I was playing Apex at the time. I was like, oh, this game is fun, but I want to bring my attention to you guys because I really want to know you guys, and also why the heck are you guys here? Like in like a good way. I was like, wait, what happened? What
Yeah.
did I do? Please
Yeah.
tell me exactly what I did so I can continue to do it. But no, it you just have to take your time and realize that when that does happen, and you can't think of um, you can't say if. My friend Bright yells at me every time I say if all the time. When that does happen to you, you just have to give yourself grace and take your time. And,
Mhm.
that's all I did. Took my time, tried to respond to everybody, told everybody, hey, um, I'm not used to this. I got rated one day on Twitch for like 700 and like 80 people, and it was one of my good friends, Nalopia, and she has one of the like most well gelled communities at such a large scale than I've ever seen. It's like it was 700. Usually when people raid with 700, there's like 50, 60 chatters. I'm telling you, it's like says she rated 700. There's 699 people in my chat right now. Like it
Damn.
was going crazy. Everybody was talking, chat was moving. I couldn't read it to save my life. And I said, I can't even read things that stand still, let alone all of this moving right now. So I just told everyone to, cut me a little slack, of course, because I'm not used to it. But yeah, just take your time. That's all you can do.
That's a really good way of handling that, to be honest. I know a lot of people get overwhelmed, even with raids that are like double their size. Like I've seen streamers with like 5 people in their, CCV, and they get raided by like 50 people, and they're like, "What the fuck do I do?"
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
a good way to look at it, no matter what size you are, when something bigger than what you're used to comes in.
Yeah, you just gotta take your time and I necessarily apologize in advance, but I'm just like, guys, I'm not used to this, so give me some grace. I'm not used to 700 people talking to me at one time,
Oh yeah.
uh, but I'm gonna do the best I can, and just do the best you can.
Just
That's
your
all you can do.
your energy alone, like that's what I mean. It was nerve-wracking for you, I'm sure, in the moment, but I'm sure that energy would just like flew out of you, and it was like it may have looked easy to other people is what I'm saying. For you, you were probably like, oh God,
I
so many
was
people."
flustered to say that
Yeah.
I was hornswoggled to say the least. So yeah, no, but that's awesome. Thank you for that.
Of course. Lunar wants to know, how do you feel about emotes and their ability to grow a channel?
Man, emotes are slept on because I'm not gonna lie, I've seen multiple emotes where I'm like, whose is that? And I need it, and I am gonna slide over to that person and tell them how amazing this emote is. No, I think it's emotes are, I think, what I've always kind of thought. Emotes are like a streamer's tattoos. And they say a lot about you. And if you continue to, put emotes, for example, a big example, I'm going to use her as example, is Badass Mommy and her emotes, and how all of her emotes she has started to make for her channel are very custom to her. That
Yeah.
is such a big thing, honestly. It's such a big thing. You can have all of these different emotes, and you can try to have all of these popular memes and stuff like that all you want. But you want people to use your emote and enjoy using your emote. And that's always kind of what I've strived for. I Speaking of, I haven't made new emotes in a long time. Probably, I probably need to make some, but they're really important and
Yeah.
not necessarily to grow a channel. I think that's more of a channel retention type of deal. I would say, not necessarily to, like, I don't know if, oh, I don't post on socials, but I have banger emotes, so I don't have to worry about posting on socials. Like, I wouldn't I wouldn't think about it in that aspect, but
Yeah.
I think I mean, they're definitely important to have, and I think they're part of a streamer's brand for sure.
100%. I agree.
Yes, badass. We see that Nessie banging its head emote.
Yeah, that's
That
her
one
I
all the
would
Lunar
say
time.
every
uses
10
all the
minutes.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every 10 minutes, I'd say.
You gotta make
Yeah.
them usable, and make them relatable. And she has a lot of relatable ones, as I've probably done what Nessie's doing plenty of times playing Apex Legends. So it
Pop,
makes sense.
pop, pop, pop. Yeah, I feel that.
It makes sense.
I actually have a question for you, Gummies.
Yes, I'm here.
Um, so with everything going on, what are like maybe 1, 2, 3 goals that you want to accomplish with content creation this year?
For myself.
Yes, for yourself.
Ooh, that's exciting. That's a good question. Um, I my main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know anybody.
Damn.
Is I'm just kidding. LOL. Hopefully you guys got that riff raff reference. Or I just look like an idiot.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
My honestly, really. So my biggest goal, I guess, as of right now, because I do plan obviously on staying on Kick for the foreseeable future, is verification. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for now is verification. But I really don't put a lot of like numeric goals on myself or anything like that. So it's honestly just to continue to grow my community, to be a loving community, and just continue to do that. And there's not really a way to kind of like gauge that on a scale, because other than verification, which is something obviously that's like a physical, not really a physical, but like a an actual accomplishment, like a goal
Yeah.
to achieve. Other than that, I mean, I don't really have any other necessarily like goals other than to just um, so that the community, grow the community every day as much as I can, um, with the people that belong in it, and who decides if they belong in it is them. It's not necessarily me, it's them. It's open to everybody. And lastly, just to be a better content creator than I was, a month ago. And then next month I'll be a better content creator than I was this month, and so on and so forth, and just continue to push that way. If you look at kind of smaller things, I try to look at smaller attainable goals other than like really large, like, oh, I want to get into the partner program. Like a lot of people ask
Yeah.
me, do you want to get into the partner program? Like, do I want to? Yes, but I kind of have some steps. I can't skip the steps. I gotta let me get verification first,
No,
and then go from
100%.
there. They're like, "Oh, do you want to be partnered on Twitch?" I gotta stream on Twitch first.
Yeah.
Like I just can't get it without it. So it's like one of those things is I just try to achieve the smaller goals, and eventually, when you think about it, if you take step by step by step by step, and you turn around, you've gone up a lot of steps. You've gone up a lot since where you started, and that's kind of how I view it all.
No,
For sure, yeah.
100%.
Lunar wants to know what your view is on sponsorships and partnerships, and if you are trying to get any.
Um, Sponsorships and partnerships, I think, are very important. Once you hit a certain level, I think a lot of people, and something I fell into victim of when I first started streaming, man, it was so bad, is all of these small companies just handing out
Yep.
affiliations. And I was affiliated with some tech company at one point in time where they just did like controller grips and like plastic things and all that. It's literally, I remember them and they were like, "Oh, so like, do you guys send stuff?" And they're like, "No, like you have to get it, but at least you have a discount code." And I'm like, "Okay." So I got this discount code and I used it, and I swear it's just a whole bunch of stuff I can get out of a vending machine. I was like, this is crazy. So I would say, but it depends on your level. Partnerships, and sponsorships are something that you necessarily should. I mean, they are a big fuel for creators when it comes to income. Once you get to that point. Now again, is that something that's someone averaging 5 viewers that just started streaming a month ago, has 300 viewer or has 100 followers and is trying to find themselves, should be worrying about? No, you should not be worried about trying to get a partnership with Corsair. But once you get to that point, I do think it's important. And I think it's important to put yourself in positions to be someone that's looked at. If you're a problematic person, and there's a lot of people that have the numbers but do not have the personality, and I guess necessarily the social likeness, I would say, for
Yeah.
sponsorships and partnerships, which is why you'll see a lot of people with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subs, but no partnerships next to their name, because all they do is spew negativity on the internet. So
Yeah.
I think, yes, it's important. You should definitely aim for them. Um, once you're in that position to do so. But I don't think it's super important for like smaller streamers. Like me personally, I'm not really too worried about them. I still have a long way to go before I have the partnerships that I want to have. Now, when it comes to affiliations, there are a couple affiliations that, I'm okay with, that I think are pretty cool. Um, However, I think when it comes to partnership, yes, you should aim for it, but it's something, down the line. You can't rush those things.
No, 100%.
That just because those are people actually paying you money. Like those are like that's
Yeah.
an actual contract. Like those are not easy to get. So
Mhm.
um I don't really believe necessarily in stressing yourself out so much about things like that. Because if you sit there and stress out, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be partnered with Steel Series and I want to be partnered with Asus and all this. Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, you would love to, but that's not something you
Yeah,
can really
no, for sure.
dictate right now. So yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Is there any particular brand that you hope to accomplish one day down the road?
Down the road, hmm, I used to be obsessed. And not necessarily used to. I still use her stuff all the time, but I used to be obsessed with Steel Series.
Yeah.
And Steel Series was one that I literally loved, and I told myself one day, like, I will be a partnership. I will be partnered with Steel Series one day, and it's gonna be nice. And I still hold that view. I still hold that view, and I think it'd be cool. But honestly, I'm just really have my I haven't really thought about it too much. If I'm being honest, I used to think about it all the time, and it was Still Series, Asus, um, Elgato was one of them. And I used to think about them all the time, like, oh my God, I got to get in the door. I got to get in the door. Like, how? And
I feel that.
eventually, I was like, I'm not gonna get in the door just sitting in this room asking myself how I'm gonna get in the door. Like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
exactly.
like continue to grow, and they're gonna have to see me. So, but yeah.
So, actually, I want to add on to something like this because I've actually spoken a lot about the affiliations versus a sponsorship versus partnership,
Mm-hmm.
UGC work and stuff like that because we've been doing a lot of that kind of stuff lately,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of our size and our rebuild that's currently going on.
Mm-hmm.
And Badass actually mentioned something, the 10% codes that you get and you just promote them for free. Um, at what point do you think it's worth being a partnership and it's actually a partnership when it comes to those, say you have a 10% code, but they're maybe sending you, product every month to have for free, to keep you going. Like you never have to buy anything. They're always providing you everything.
Mm-hmm.
Plus you get that code. At what point do you think that it's worth it for you and for others to look into?
Yeah, I think, and that is gonna be based on like the creator and the
Mm-hmm.
stream. I think, and again, it's kind of like a levels thing when it comes to kind of where you are in your journey. Um, I think when you're looking at kind of affiliates and discount codes, for me personally, it depends on the product. If it's something, for example, a big reason, and Bright is probably in here going to be jumping up and down because I completely forgot to mention this. Behind me, you can see all these metal posters. That's actually a company I would really love to get sponsored by. Is Display. I don't have any sort of discount code or anything like that, but I stand behind their products a lot. If they approached me at some point in time and said, "Yo, this isn't necessarily a partnership, but it's affiliation, and we will send you a metal poster a month, and you have a 10% off code for your community," I'd take it in a heartbeat. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm running with it. Um, because it's just a company and a brand that I genuinely have loved and used. But I think that's something that's big for me is I have to personally use it. Like I will never see. I've been approached by multiple companies about representing their brand and affiliateness, and even a partnership with one company that had seen me and my growth on TikTok, but I did not know them of their brand. I didn't know kind of what they would bring to me personally, and I also did not see myself using it in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, "There's no like, I don't even know why I would put my name on something like this if I can't use it." And I can't build value to have that will help my community in some way, then I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really think about it like that. I can't, don't think about it any further than that. So I would say, but she has a good point as well. I mean, if there are companies out there that will reach out to people just so that that creator will spend money and in hopes of maybe down the line someone from their community will spend their money, but their biggest thing they're seeing is you, because they give you, how a lot of affiliate companies will give you a discount code for you and your community, and they will always say, oh, for you and your community. um there's only one company that I am necessarily partnered, affiliate, sponsor. I don't even know what it's really called, and it's Udi, the company that does the like hoodie things, the hoodie
Yeah.
blanket.
The
Um,
cozy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
we know.
and
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they
we
yeah,
know.
yeah.
sent me that, and I haven't even really done too much with it since. But it's one of those things again, as Badass Mommy said, there was no money spent out of pocket. And you do have to be aware of that. You do have to be wary of companies that reach out to you just so that you will buy their product
Yeah.
and then promote it in hopes of other people wanting to support you by buying that product.
The one that you want to look for in that kind of stuff, and this goes for everybody here, I'm sure, and there's other creators in here that are much bigger than we are. And we don't know everything, obviously, but we do know, like, we've been doing a lot of UGC work for the last year and a half because, as some of you guys know, we are full time creators. And we've learned that, that's kind of where you make the better money later on. We're not making a crazy amount now, but we've had some pretty good deals where we've made, 30-second video and got $500 for it. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so the term that you want to look for, it's called ROI, which is a return of investment, and that actually isn't even just in this industry. Um, that's in every industry when it comes to being a business owner. Which as a content creator, you are a business owner. You are your own business.
Mhm.
So keep an eye out for that. If there is no return of investment and when I mean return of investment, I mean if you're putting in all this time to you know you're promoting this brand, you're putting in this time, they're asking you to do a stream, blah blah blah, whatever. If there's no return of investment, I would be very wary. Like, if they're not putting, at least, if they're giving you a product that's worth, like, say $200 and they're asking for like a 1 hour stream, it's pretty good actually, because usually when you do a stream, a sponsored stream, the average is whatever your CCV is, that's how much you should make per hour. So if you average 20, you should be making $20 an hour of your stream. But if you have somebody comes to you like, yeah, I want like a 12-hour stream, I want our logo on the stream, all this stuff, and they're not, logo on stream is like an additional cost, stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, and we'll give you a discount code to use for the day, and then if you sell this amount, we'll give you like a free one of our product. That's a huge red flag, and you should very much be wary of stuff like that, because there's a lot of creators I see that got to take advantage of that. And for everybody in here, please, like, seriously, be careful of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Agreed.
unfortunately, I got taken advantage like that. I bought into it. I was like, oh my god, is this actually like a partnership? Had to buy one of their sweaters, and then they never posted me on their socials. I was like, oh great, I just spent like $60. Cool.
I think everybody falls for it at some point in time unless someone prevents them of falling for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's because it's a very easy trap to fall in. It really
it
is,
really
because you
is.
start
Yeah,
seeing these companies and you start thinking when you're a smaller creator, you're growing and you've hit, let's say you finally hit, 10 average viewers and you're like, okay,
yeah,
this is really cool. This feels good. And then a company hits you up like, oh, hey, we saw your content. And they hit you with the big old, oh my God, we saw your stream and love your content. We would love for you to represent our brand.
Yeah.
And then you start getting all geeked up and you're like, oh my God, like this is fantastic. This is it. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's very easy to fall for. I think but kind of like going off what Trey said, it's super important to figure out what you get out of it.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be selfish. Like you have to think about it in a selfish way because again, as he said, this is a business. So
Yep.
whether you tying your name to a company brings you exposure, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. In my opinion, it doesn't have to be money. Um, Especially as a growing creator. Now, if you've already established yourself, then yeah, get your bag, and don't let anyone like let you or try to make you work for free and take advantage of like your community and your growing community because they realize if they stick their logo on it, how much money they're going to make. But
Mhm.
I think you can be compensated in things other than money when it comes
Yeah.
to in certain situations. So I think it just comes down to knowing where you are and knowing your worth as a creator, but also seeing what you gain out of
Yeah.
it. I tell someone I talk to all the time who has teams and sponsorships hitting her up all the time because she sees a lot of growth. And the first question I always ask all the time is, what are you getting? Like, no, like, oh, they're doing, no, no, no. What are you getting? What do
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
get from this versus what they get from this? If they're getting
The two-way
all of
street.
this
Yeah.
and you're getting a t-shirt, uh, that doesn't, that's not adding up to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big thing to always assess what you get out of the situation. Now, if what you feel like you get is greater than what you're giving, all power to you. Go for it. But I think it's super important to always assess what you're getting.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Exactly. Know your worth at the end of the
100%.
Mm-hmm.
day.
Yeah, knowing your
Know
worth is
your
very,
worth.
especially in this industry, I think a lot of people forget that their worth and their time is actually more valuable than they think. Like people think that just, you stream, you do this, you do that, whatever. Like people don't realize even with 10 viewers, right, watching, that's still 10 people that could be influenced in some kind of way. That's still worth something. You
Exactly.
know, it's never nothing. It's
No.
never nothing.
Agreed. I agree with that.
I know Lunar said something. Oh, there it is. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't pass it because I
Mhm.
know she did ask something, but we were talking about it. I think it's important to talk about like the partnerships and the sponsorships
Mhm.
versus affiliate codes because a lot of people have been reached out for affiliate codes and it's like, it's not really worth it. But, to each their own at the end of the day. If you think it'll benefit you, then go for it. But, again, know your worth. Don't just take things because it sounds cool. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. I think it just comes down again to what you get from it. And
Mm-hmm.
knowing again, as you said, knowing your worth, but also there and like I said, there's affiliate codes and partnerships. There's such a big difference from the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
And not saying all affiliate codes are bad because they're
No.
not, but as you said, and as you've fallen into victim, Kimmy, and me as well, it's when they start getting you to pay for things, and they're like, "Oh,
Yes.
promote our brand by wearing it, but we're not gonna
Yeah.
send you any of it." So,
Yeah, exactly.
but no, just be weary of it, as you said, and I think it's,
Exactly.
but it is important.
Agree. Agree, agree, agree. Lunar wants to know what your view is on short form content or scripted moments versus spontaneous moments.
And also, if you guys have
Hmm.
any other last questions, please ask them
Yes.
now, as this will probably be the last question. Or if you guys have any last ones, feel free to
Yeah, type it
ask
out.
those last ones, and then we'll answer those lastly.
Um, Scripted moments versus spontaneous moments. Honestly, because I've done some of each. To be honest, some short form content I've completely planned out, and others have just been very spontaneous moments and stuff. Um, I don't really have any sort of negative view on either. I think they're both, you know, will be and can be an extremely good content. Um, it just depends on kind of what you're shooting for. It's the scripted stuff can be hard at times. because you're trying to map everything out, and it's like, okay, like this has to go here, and this person needs to say this, and it can be easy depending on what kind of content you're doing. But some content, like especially if you're a gamer and you're trying to do like scripted gaming content, that stuff is hard,
Oh
especially
yeah.
when you're doing like battle
It is.
royales like me. It's like, okay, like we're gonna land here, and we're gonna get into different games, and we're gonna like do this. I've never been able to do that. Some people are able to somehow figure that out all the time, where they get into the same game and they do that. I could never. I can't do that. But I don't know. I think they're both very beneficial. You just have to figure out what works best for you. Um, individually as a creator, because I've seen a lot of people grow in scripted. I've seen a lot of people grow doing spontaneous stuff. Just depends on your stream.
No, for sure, for sure.
And what do you do to prepare yourself mentally for each stream? Beamer's asking.
Shake some booty. Usually. No, I'm kidding. I
Rush
don't
home
actually do
from
that.
work, throw on a different pair of clothes, get
Um,
on stream.
yeah. So honestly, I've been doing it for so long. I don't necessarily mentally have to prepare because I'm always mentally ready. For stream, for the most part, usually I am, because usually on stream days I am going to work and I'm like, this is like, I don't want to be here. Like, I'm be honest. Like, I want to be home streaming, and I want to be gaming and be with the homies. So that powers me through my work day. And then I get home and I'm ready. I'm like, I've been waiting for this all day. Some things that I'll do, smaller things, is on my drive home from work, which can range anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I'm bumping very high energy music. And I'm singing along, I'm dancing along, I'm getting myself in my normal hyped up mood, so that way when I get to the house, I make some food, I'm behind the camera, and I'm like, all right, here we are. And I'm just in my I do my best to get myself into my natural element, which is achieved by either music, dancing, or food. So I do
Sounds
one
like
of
a
the
good
three
time.
or all three to get myself into my natural element to stream.
Cake.
I think I need that. Honestly, I need the good music. I need to dance
Hmm.
around. And I just need food.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
can't even
all
get you out
three
of the
and
bed to get on stream in time in the morning. What do you mean get food, dance around?
Food.
I can't even get you out of the bed, let
Give me
alone that
food.
stuff.
Give me
It
food.
it honestly sounds like food may be the answer there. It
Yeah,
sounds
food is
like
the
food.
answer.
It sounds like food's the
She
missing
doesn't like
piece.
eating when she first gets up.
Oh, I'll eat everything in the house.
True. I feel that.
I'll
All
eat
right,
everything in
and
the
the
house.
last final question is
Desi.
yes, honey lemon sunshine,
Desi.
aka Desi. How do you handle anxiety when it comes to streaming? During, before, after?
All of it.
Yeah. I actually is somebody that I did have a lot of anxiety growing up. So it really kind of died down for me the more I did it. I used to be extremely anxious before streams. I used to be so like just straight up like I used to like my first couple streams. I was shaking. I literally shook. Like I was literally like freaking out. Somebody coming to my chat and my heart would beat fast. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like what's going on? Um, I have to say something that's gonna make them stay forever and be my friend. Hi, like it's what happened, and the thing is, it got a lot better with time for me and comfortability, because it's one of those things like um being anxious is something that happens 9 times out of 10 when you're uncomfortable, and when you become comfortable, that anxiety starts to go away. So you have to do everything you can to keep yourself comfortable, whether that be your stream setup, whether that be the music you listen to, whether that be the game, whether that be the people you play with, whatever it is. Do everything you can to protect your space, and to keep yourself comfortable, is all I can really ever say before and during a stream. It's super important to protect your headspace, kind of in doing it. and keeping everybody around you, which is why my mod team is so important to me, because if someone does try to come in, then they got that thing on them and they're ready to go. Then they keep me protected as I keep myself protected. So that's really all you can do, is kind of try to prepare yourself in that way, and hopefully that works. Yeah, the blicky, they keep that thing on them.
Well, thank you, sir, for coming on with us and actually talking to us and talking to everybody in chat. Honestly, it was awesome to have you on. You've said some great things, some stuff that we definitely want to even learn from, and I'm sure a lot of other people learn from. Twitch, Live Space, Kick, and it'll be up on YouTube on Saturday as well. So if you guys haven't subscribed to YouTube, make sure to check that out too. That way you guys can, go back and listen to the wise words of King Gummies once more.
I
Facts.
appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you. It means the
Always,
world
man.
that you guys think of me in such regard to bring me to bring me to something like this. So I appreciate you both,
You
for
too.
having me and your community. Thank you all so much, for having me and listening to me for the last hour, just spew things. And I really appreciate it.